Melo will take less with a buyout to the Cavs and would waive the no-trade clause if he was traded to the Rockets. So, John?
Yeah. I guess Phil wasn't wrong. So Phil was trying to get Carmelo to get out, right? He was trying to say get out. He said no. So Phil said, I'm out. So he goes out. So now it's all over again. Now Carmelo now speaks and says, yeah, I want to get out. So Will was right yesterday. It was not anything dealing with Phil Jackson. It was all around where Carmelo wanted to be. And that's what the problem is.
Listen, I think you're right, John. What this does at the very least is, I don't like to debate people when they're not present. I like to do things face to face. But Max Kellerman was on yesterday and said that was the final nail in the coffin, that Phil had proposed this completely ridiculous idea of buying out Carmelo. And ultimately, James Dolan was like, no, you're done doing damage here. But the truth of the matter is the buyout of Melo may happen anyway. The only lesson you can take is, I don't know if I was right yesterday. I don't know if you were right, but I know this. The inmates are running the asylum in New York City. I don't know who's in charge of that team. I don't know if it's Carmelo. I don't know if it's James Dolan. I don't know if it's the mob outside of Madison Square Garden. But if you don't have some leader making coherent decisions, you are lost the same way you have been for 17 plus years. You will continue to be one of the 4 worst franchises in the NBA, and God, you shouldn't be. I mean, I live in New York. The New York Knicks should be one of the best, not one of the worst.
Yeah.
But you'll continue to be this way because there's no head on the giant. There's no brain inside the body.
I'm gonna side with you here a little bit because you're talking about 2 guys that have massive egos, and this is why they've been very successful in Phil Jackson and obviously Carmelo, and they both continued to have verbal confrontation where the audience was us, and we were taking sides. And when you look at what happened at the end, it's probably best that both of them are gone and that Carmelo leaves. Because now, if you want to really, truly build this team, it's Porzingis' team. You got a young, budding star. Now you got to build around him. Be good for Carmelo, because now people won't say Carmelo's not trying to win a championship. He can go play with his guy LeBron. Maybe LeBron's a little bit closer to maybe beating Golden State with Carmelo. But at the end, these were 2 guys. I'm talking about Carmelo and the coach that verbally were
general manager.
General manager, coach, whatever. General manager that were verbally just going after each other, and they wanted to see who's going to win the battle.
Right.
Well, guess what? Carmelo at the end said, okay, you fired him. Guess what? I'm tapping out now. I'll leave.
$100 million situation. $110 million to have the Knicks start over. That's what it's going to take.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Start over. You got to start. Start over.
Let's listen to what Stephen A. had to say on this news, that Melo will accept a buyout to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That specifically means he's owed $54 million over the next 2 years. He will take a reduced figure of that if the Knicks will let him go. Let's call it 40, 35, whatever the number may be. He will accept that if he gets to go to the Cavs. But if he goes to another team, like the one mentioned, Houston, he's going to require a trade. In other words, he wants all his $54 million.
Right.
If he goes to Houston, he wants all his money, but he'll waive his no-trade clause to go play with CP3, who Stephen A. says is very, very close with Melo. So what should Melo do? Melo should stop holding the New York Knicks hostage, okay? That's the honest truth. He has. There have been so many reasons, John, over the last several days about why he won't leave New York. Is it because he wants to be closer to his son? Is it because he wants to reconcile with his wife, which are both very valid reasons? Is it because now it sounds like if he was willing to go to Cleveland because he wants to play on a super team or go to Houston to play with his friend CP3? There are so many different reasons flying about. But what the truth of the matter is I can't tell a man to give up his money, but you're going nowhere, New York. It's going nowhere. Right. So if you want to go somewhere, like a chance to win, you have to accept you have to get rid of your no-trade clause. You have to let that go. At the very least, that.
I'm just saying.
You want to try to win you in Cleveland?
Yeah, if he goes, and I like the super teams. I like it. I like that all of a sudden it said, oh, you went and got KD, when we weren't looking, and he's doing this, and next year, I would, if I was him, and I would say, hey, give me less money, I'm going to get it back anyway. He's going to get it back.
He's going to win a world championship.
Why are the Knicks going to do this? Why give Carmelo $40 million to go away?
Because they're the New York Knicks, and they need to win.
Why not?
Well, because it's only money. I'm going to give you an answer. I'm going to give you an answer.
Why?
Because it's $40 million.
Okay, you know what? It's only money.
It's only money.
That's what owners get to do. Hey, you know what? This is how players look at it.
I've been around you for 3 days talking about money, and then you turn around and say that to me.
They get to spend their money.
Yeah.
Owners spend money.
Right.
Okay, so it's a loss. I'm gonna write it off. Whatever. I have Porzingis. If you're the Knicks right now, and Carmelo decides to go wherever he goes, Porzingis is the guy. It's all about Porzingis now. It should be all about Porzingis. Let's build around that guy.
It could be an all-European team.
It just cost you $40 million to do that.
That's okay.